Oh, hello, ladies. Oh, I really don't like Facebook Lives. That's why you never see me doing them because it never works out. It's clumsy, and no doubt there's a buzz on this. There's always a buzz when I do Facebook Live, and they're always telling me that the wiring is wrong. Okay, so why am I here today? Okay. I just finished up in my business class. You guys know I'm in an entrepreneurial business class, been in it for 5 years. We meet 3 times a week. And honestly, I have the best business coaches in the world because they're heart-centered, soul-centered coaches. And this is where I learned years ago to take my business to a higher level, to be able to serve women at the deepest level. So we were talking about it today, and it just is so important that you guys understand this. So I'm sharing it with you women in the mastery program. So I put out a post on my Kara McCoy page a couple days ago, asking women to tell me the number one thing that they need at the start of any body transformation program. If they don't have it, they will not reach their goals, or they will reach their goals and then it will evade them. They will lose their results. So there were a lot of great answers. There weren't any wrong answers, actually. People said discipline, commitment, courage. They said the proper food plan, the proper training program, the proper coach, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, mindset work, of course. All that stuff was super, super important, always. But the number one thing I was looking for, and the number one thing I want to impress upon you guys, and I was talking about this in our business group too, is we gotta have patience, guys. Okay? So patience is a skill set that most people think they have, but they only have it so far. And then they give it up. Well, I'm not losing weight fast enough. Well, I'm not seeing the gains fast enough. And I'm going to be doing a whole YouTube around this because it's so vitally important. I did not see any changes in my body shape and tone for about 18 months. I remember, and you guys can probably relate to this, I remember going past a window, like a shopping window, and looking at myself. And I remember thinking, man, I feel differently than I look. Like, I feel powerful. I feel strong. I feel tight. I feel like I'm walking different. I think I was walking different. I just feel like I'm this badass woman in the gym because nobody was training back then. This was the 80s, guys, not in the gym, not women. And I remember looking in the mirror going, damn, but here's the deal. If it took that time for me, then it's going to take that time for you. But there is success with every workout. And if you're wanting yourself to revamp in 16 weeks into this tight, shapely, down 50 pounds, 100 pounds woman, it's probably not going to happen. I've only had one woman in all the years go 50 pounds down in this program. She was at 175. She went to 125. Now, it's not saying that she is any more, any more available to do it, any better than you. She had come from an athletic background. She was diligent. She went into the work, and it just showed up on her body that way. What I'm trying to say is, whatever your goal is, I want your goal to practice patience and fortitude, okay? And perspective, okay? We didn't get to this place physically overnight. We didn't get to this place mentally or emotionally overnight. We didn't get to this place spiritually or not have a spiritual practice, whatever, overnight. We have all gotten to where we are. It takes time. The first place I saw muscle development on my body, you're going to laugh at this, was on my forearms. And the reason for that is because my forearms and maybe my biceps, they don't have as much fat on them. And so it shows through in the areas where we don't carry the extra weight, right? And in time, I started to see, and when I look back at the pictures, I can see the progress that I couldn't see then, because all I was looking at was, well, how come my butt is still flat and wide? Well, how come I still have a tummy? Well, how come I don't have shoulders? Okay? Stop it. You need to focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. You need to focus on what's working, not on what's not working, because everything's working. There is no wasted workout program. It's never a wasted day in the gym. If you don't go to the gym, then you're not going to see progress. But remember, we are building in, and you guys have this, a 3 to 5 day workout program. You guys have 16 workout programs. You alumni have another 30 on top of that. It's not about the perfect program. I swear to God. You don't need an IFBB Pro program to get that body, and you won't anyways. You won't be able to, because she's got years of conditioning. Do you know the top bodybuilders, physique gals, whatever, they have years. They come from dance or athletic or gymnastic backgrounds. And so they didn't just show up and create a body in 1 to 2 years. They've had that process going on in their body, the building, the recovery, all of that. The genetics is a big piece of it for sure, but their biochemistry, their metabolism is ramped up because they have been doing it. And I can't see if anybody, see, that's the thing with Facebook Lives, I can't see if anybody's on the page, and it always tells me if anybody's there, and it says no, and then later I hear people say, I was there talking to you and you didn't mention anything. I can't see, so that's why I don't like Facebook Lives. But it takes patience and it takes faith. Now, faith is outside of proof, okay? That's a big one. And when we have faith and patience and consistency, fortitude, and if we falter, we just get back up, right? So this is what we all have to do, guys. This is where I had to start 40 years ago when I started weight training. And then I had a hip replacement 4 years ago. I was in a wheelchair for 6 weeks, and then I was a walker, and then I had to learn to walk all over again because it was major. It was the entire hip taken out. It wasn't, a scraping. There's all sorts of different hip surgeries. Mine was major. The whole thing was removed, and so I had to learn to all over again. But I had an understanding of going back to the basics, going back to beginner's mind, or being a newbie in the gym, and I was like, being able to walk again. I was doing walking exercises, and then I would do little squats like 6 inches down. It was painfully slow, but it was progress every time I went in, right? And it took me 18 months to get my leg strength, my squat, my lunges, my leg press back to where it was pre-surgery. 18 months. And this is where the patience piece must come in. If you don't have patience, guys, then you're going to be beating up on yourself, or you're creating in your brain, how come I'm not there yet? I'm always working on it. Okay, so you really need to be clear with yourself. So there's chronic dieters, for example. People who are chronic dieters think they're always dieting and it's not working. Well, they have a dieter's brain, which is woo, right? I get that. But it doesn't mean that they're constantly on track and in a calorie deficit or in maintenance, which is where you need to be in order to lose the weight. So chronic dieters think, I'm always dieting and it's not working. Well, your body's not unique. Okay, it's the same biochemistry. If you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. You don't want to be in too big a deficit, and that's why Natalia ensures getting pictures to see where you're at, so she knows how much to drop you. Because if you go from, like the Biggest Loser, 10,000 calories a day to 1,200, yeah, you're going to lose weight, but you're going to plateau, you're going to stall out, you're going to lose your muscle. And then the body is going to stop all the fat loss and go, no more of this is going to kill us, and it starts adding it back on despite your best efforts. Okay, so this is why we build into the program, and this is why if some of you guys have slipped, then you need to, and I said this in our last video, you need to put pen to paper. You need to, whatever, food app. I don't like the food apps because they usually actually underestimate how much you're eating. I am old-fashioned, food, putting pen to paper, but by this time I know exactly how many calories are in a half a cup of rice. A half a cup of cooked rice is your portion, guys, not a cup, not two. Pasta, 1 cup of cooked pasta, not 2 or 3. Okay, so this is all in your food plans, module 3. Go back and you can find all of that information on what creates a proper portion. So it's really important that you know where you're at in order to go to where you need to be. And chronic dieters, like they may diet like, Monday to Friday because they're working during the day. And a lot of women don't eat during the day because they're working. And then they might have their dinner when we need to eat throughout the day, right? And then, or the Friday will come around, or they've been dieting and they're hangry, and then they go in and they munch on something that's off plan, that's too loaded in calories, too contracted, no live foods, and that will blow your results for the last 2 or 3 days where you've been good. So that's why Friday night to Sunday will erase and even add on all your best efforts from Monday to Friday afternoon. Always, guys. This is a 7-day-a-weeker, okay? Your metabolism doesn't know it's a weekend. And we're building metabolic fuel. And if you keep going like stringent, like cutting the calories and then and then you go crazy, your metabolism is going and your brain and your body is going all over the place. We have to parent our ways, our bodies, we have to parent our body in a way that is consistent. Same with good parenting, guys. When we're parenting our kids, it needs to be consistent and it needs to be calm and confident. It's the same with our bodies and food. It needs to be consistent, because if you have a Monday to Friday, I'm going to be really strict, and the weekend is like, thank God I have the weekend, I'm going to be a little bit more loose. Don't do it. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it because it's so awful to learn to eat well and to start losing the weight that you want Monday to Friday? Is it so awful that you can't stand your work that you got to binge out on food or alcohol or whatever? No, guys, okay? Adult up. I said this to one client, actually. She got really mad at me. She's like, you're putting me in shame. I'm not putting you in shame. You're being in child energy here. Okay? You don't get to play and do the right stuff for so long, and then you'd like squirt out the other end and go, screw this, I'm going to do whatever I want with my food. That's not adult. Guys, we all have it. Okay? I have it too. Not necessarily with food, but I did it with drugs and alcohol and all that stuff. So anyways, never mind. That's for another story. So it's really important that you own your own shit, okay? Most of you know what to do. And you got to be real about your goals. If you're that hungry for that goal, great body, lean, strong, aging well, you're going to go after it. But if you're wavering, the universe and what you receive is going to be wavering as well. Remember, you are your energy. Vibration first. Frequency first. Always. And I'm going to be doing a YouTube video today, and you guys know this because it's in module, I think it's module 7 or 8, pain versus pleasure. Okay, if you're looking at all of this healthy aging stuff as work, I'll never get there, I can't get there, I don't deserve it, this is hard, I'm going to eat lousy tasting food, I'm going to be on a diet all my life, you're never going to get there. Never. I can promise you that. When you change your language, when you change your outlook and your perspective, when you learn to love eating healthy food that makes you feel good and feeds your body and builds a great physique, and you're aging with energy and vitality and confidence, and you're feeling good in your clothes, you got a stride in your step, that's the momentum that we want. That's where you need to live from. So we cannot create healthy habits, healthy body, healthy thoughts, which are up here. And you guys all have the map of consciousness by now. Look at it, study it, memorize it. Joy, bliss, acceptance, self-love, self-care, worthiness. You can't create a healthy body if you're coming down and operating from shame, guilt, talking lousy to yourself, regret, resentment. Right? Right? It's like trying to parent a child and you're trying to get him to do better by telling him what a shitty job he did. And there are bosses and parents out there that do that. You know better than that. I expect better than that. How can you ever get to where you want to be if you're doing that? Is that building up a child? You need to see the best in them. I know you can do this. You've got everything you need. You're smart. You're talented. You've got this. I'll support you. But I know this is your path, right? Which is going to get you the results. That's how you need to talk to yourself. So this is all about changing our language, our self-talk, self-limiting, and conscious and unconscious beliefs, patterns, and conditioning, guys. Okay? The other thing that I want to share with you is please see yourself as the 5%. Okay? You have come into this program, and some of you have been here for a while, for years now, because you're in the alumni. You are here because you're the 5%. Or I saw the potential to be the 5% on a call with you, because I'm very diligent about who I bring into this program now. I don't do this for the money. I do this because this is my role on this planet. And I know what you've been through. I know the shit that you've endured because I've endured it as well. I know how we beat ourselves up, how women see themselves, how we've been taken out by expectations, by being sometimes a second-class citizen in our own lives or our own homes or in our business, right? I know all the stuff that's piled on women as far as responsibilities and expectations. It's too much. But we need to see ourselves from a different perspective, wearing different glasses, going, I'm not going to be that anymore. I'm not going to be the people pleaser. I'm not going to put everybody else first. I deserve to be in line with everybody else. Doesn't mean you have to put yourself first. You can be in line with everybody else and be just as worthy. But women are like, no, if I take care of everybody else, then I'm good. You're not good. You're not good because you're also teaching the next generation, your children coming up behind you, especially the women. So the 5% is the people that are not on Google, that are not looking after diet after diet after diet. And I know a lot of you guys have done that. And I know no matter how long you've been in this program as an alumni, and this is also to the newcomers coming in, you will slip. That's being human. But now, building this awareness and this consciousness with this self-development, this empowerment work that we're doing, you will be able to notice when you're slipping, and you have a choice to either allow yourself to slip and go down into shitty eating, not moving your body, not feeling confident and aging shitty. Okay, it's a choice. Or you can go, I'm not going there. I've lived there for 20, 30, 40 years. I'm not doing it again. And you come over here. And when you do that time and time again, because you're going to slip again and again, guys, what's going to happen is eventually this becomes your new normal, where you smarten up right away and you go, this is more important to me. Healthy aging, feeling well, looking great, having a great intimate relationship with your hubby or your wife, whatever, right? Being a calm, confident, and grounded parent who's walking the walk and teaching your children how to take care and love your body, right? It's really, really important. So the 5% is what I saw in you guys on the call, and I went, you got to come with me. But it means stopping the Google searches, stop the looking at different diets, because that's what happens when you're not losing the weight. Women go, you don't need anything else besides this program. And I'm not saying that out of arrogance, guys. What I'm saying is this program took me 30 years to develop, with all the hundreds, probably thousands of women by now, and all of my own stuff, and doing the psychology, doing all the certifications in there, and continually investing in self and my work so I can bring it to you. So it's important that you understand that the majority of people are living out there. So when you're not in this program, this is why I want you to show up on the calls, or if you can't, watch the replays, get on Facebook page, start posting. I have women go, well, I didn't really want to post because nobody's posting. That's why you got to post, right? In my business class, my video has to be on or they call me out. And sometimes in those classes, there's 150 people. And now I am right front and center, and I am celebrating every time, even because we do celebrations and we do questions, and I make sure every time in class, I can't think of anything to celebrate. I don't think I have a question. I don't care. I'm putting up the hand icon. I'm going to find something. I'm going to find something because that's my commitment to the program and to my development and to my success. We do not grow and learn in isolation. Too many people don't want to be vulnerable. And a lot of you guys come into this program, I know that, and I see it in your questionnaire. I see it in some of your work. I see it in the belief map that I sent out at the very start. I'm afraid to be vulnerable. I'm afraid to be seen. Most of us are, guys, right? Who cares? Like, seriously, when you get to be my age, I think I'm probably the oldest one amongst you. I don't give a fuck. Seriously. I'm not saying that in a way where I'm trying to be condescending or push people back, but it's like, I know my truth. I'm grounded. I'm good. I'm in my authenticity. I know who I am, but I had to fight to find who I am for decades through a lot of stuff. And I'm thankful for all of it because it helped to create who I am today. And that's where you're at too. So turn off the noise of mainstream. And when you leave this program for the end of the week and you're on the weekend, watch people. Don't get sucked into blaming and complaining and talking about the how lousy the world is and politics are shitty and healthcare is stop it. Stop it. Because you are just creating that very energy, the very thing that you're complaining about. It's like a complainer complaining about complainers, right? Your frequency is the most valuable thing, where your energy is, where you're resonating. That's why when women come into the program, we do the beliefs detox. We look at where you're at and we start educating you that you can live from a higher place. Yeah, of course we slip. We're human. We're going to feel all those nasty, ugly emotions, but we don't have to live there anymore. And we don't have to let the stories live us. And whatever happened before, if you've been fighting with dieting and fighting with your weight and fighting with aging, that's back there. It does not create where you're at today. You're letting it come in to create your reality. No. Today's a new day. Every day you wake up and it's a new day. Every day I say to myself, how's my breakfast going to go? It's the same thing every day because I'm pinning my day with my success breakfast. If I don't, I swear to God, if I have like a muffin and whatever and a Starbucks, which if you have a muffin and a Starbucks coffee, like I've never had a designer coffee in years, but say you have a Frappuccino or now there's going to be pumpkin spice, you're probably eating about 800 calories for breakfast. There's probably, I know in Starbucks, there's like 20 grams of trans fats. There's like 9 teaspoons of sugar, not even mentioning the muffin. Not a hint of a vitamin or a mineral or protein. And don't tell me there's protein in the milk in the Frappuccino. Okay, we're not counting that, right? So just start waking up, guys, and start watching other people from this new perspective. And a lot of the work that we're doing here is we have this perspective that we are in this ecosystem and we're making it grow, so that I promise you at the end of 16 weeks, if you do your work, if you do your homework, if you show up for the calls, if you're on the Facebook page, if you do your one-on-ones with me and Jen and Natalia, you're going to start looking differently at the majority out there, and you're going to start going, oh my God, I can't believe I used to buy into that. I can't believe I used to talk like that. Please watch how you talk. Do not join the blaming and complaining game, because that is the fastest way to bring your energy down. And when you bring your energy down there into frustration and anger and blaming and judgment, you're going to be operating from down there. So your choices around food and around training is not going to be of high level. You're going to be well, not today. Well, I deserve to have that brownie. And I'm going to feel shitty after eating it, but I'm going to have it anyways. That's not how to live. That's not adult energy, guys. It's not being a goddess. And you guys, we're all goddesses in the making. We don't have to find her. She's inside. This really is about breaking old habits and delayering. That's all it is. We said it today in my business class. My business class is all heart and soul, guys. That's why I'm there. And that's why I continue to pay for coaching. I paid a lot in coaching, but it's worth it to me. And I show up because I pay a lot. You guys have paid a lot for this program too. Where did it go? Shoot, I don't have the quote from my gal. She's wonderful. She's my coach. Anyways, the final thing is we're moving out of Pisces when you're looking at the spiritual movement of things, the age of Pisces, and we're moving into Aquarius. It's never a hard line, but Pisces is me energy, me, and it's more masculine energy. It's corporate, it's build, it's everything is defined by your money and your career and your status. Now, there's nothing wrong with that as long as the intention behind it is true, right? But there's been a lot of stuff happening in the world that has been out of Pisces masculine energy. We are moving into Aquarius, which is feminine energy, which is we. That is why I'm getting my butt out there more and more, because we are in this program. Because when you come in, this is not to serve me. This is a we, this community, this ecosystem, what we're learning here. We are the light warriors, guys. We're the 5%. We're the ones that are being called to move into higher level action, to start to bring a sense of camaraderie and authenticity and truth and love into what's out there. And a lot of you, and like myself, have gone through a lot of shit to get to this place. Don't waste the challenge. It was gifts that got you to where you are today. It doesn't matter what happened before, okay? Well, I failed before, I'm going to fail again. Well, this is so hard. Stop it. Just stop it. I'm going to put that Bob Newhart video up. I'll find it. Stop it. Just stop it. It's so funny. And so this is where we are being asked to lead with heart and soul. That is why I say this program, it helps women transform their bodies through a heart-centered, soul-centered process, because it has to come from that place. And there are so many online marketers and online fitness people and online nutrition people I don't relate to at all, because I'm the 5% on the periphery. But I look and they're caving. And the reason they're caving is they're not authentic. They just want your money. And they're here to sell, not serve. And their serving falls short, and it is damaging women's, well, everybody's success, but women's bodies, if it's the body transformation space. It's also damaging us good coaches that are in it for the right reasons. And I get tarred and feathered a lot. I was told a snake oil salesman a while ago from a woman saying, "You're just trying to get my money." And I'm like, I don't want to work with you. If you can't see, or you haven't taken the time to, if you're going to spend that kind of time and money with me, why wouldn't you look me up on the internet? Why wouldn't you? I've been online since 2006, fully online since 2010. I've had a website for 20 years. I've got 300 YouTube videos. I've got 2,500 videos on Vimeo. Why wouldn't you do your work? Instead, she looked at it like, oh, you're just after my money and you're a snake oil. Why would she even say you're a snake oil salesman? I'm like, really? I think this conversation is over. We're not a fit. Thank you for your time. But we're going to see more and more of that, because there's charlatans out there. There are people selling they're selling on strategy, and they're selling on money, and they're not selling or serving for the right reasons. So you guys are the 5%. You guys are here because you felt or saw something different and you want different. We are the periphery. Guys, here's the deal. You're maybe not going to be able to understand a lot of people like you used to, because you're waking up. This is about being conscious and waking up, right? And that's a skill set to continue to do this work, and every day staying conscious and staying awake and doing your work, your mantras, your meditation, your reading, your journals, okay? For you newcomers, we have a reading list in files on the Facebook page. Grab that reading list. These are books that we've gone through over the 5 years I've been doing this program. And they are thought leaders. We are the thought leaders. I see myself as a thought leader. I'm a change agent, and so are you, because you found me. But I found my people too, because that's what I wanted differently. So you sensed you wanted deeper, you wanted more. You didn't just want a diet plan or a workout, because that's really not what we're about. That's the springboard. But it's really not what we're about. That is the tools, but it's the deeper, the foundational work that allows us to embody graceful aging, right? In all ways, physically, nutritionally, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, right? I think that's all I have to say about that. This isn't, remember this isn't about becoming something. So you don't have to become another person. This is about unveiling the beautiful essence of who you are at the deepest level. And I want you in a healthy, strong body that you can be proud of, whether that's 20 pounds down, 50 pounds down, 100 pounds down. I've even had some members when they graduated and they stayed on for a while, and then eventually they all leave, right? Because that's the point, is you're meant to fly on your own. We got a lot of work to do. But between now and then, that's why the alumni piece came into being. But they're like, it's not really about the weight. It never was. But I was treating my body lousy, and I was falling into this remote control with food because it was dampening my emotions, and I didn't have to think, and I got that hit of dopamine. Well, once they cleared out all the other shit, the trauma and the stories and the unconscious self-limiting patterns and conditioning, the one woman said, oh my God, this is where I need to be. I'm good with where I'm at. And it'll happen, but right now I love this. And she has started to lose the weight now, because it's coming from a very different energy. She's working from up here. instead of beating yourself up down here. Does that make sense? You are the 5%, guys, okay? Know it. Do not allow yourself to be sucked into the 95% out there, the majority, how they're living, how they're thinking, how they're eating. That's not you. Maybe it was you, but we're waking up here, okay? We're consciously co-creating our lives. Okay, you guys, lots of love. Happy Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. Oh, I'm over here. Oh, I hope this was, I'm sure somebody was out there. I'll answer your questions if there are any. Facebook and I have a love-hate relationship. I swear to God. But that's also where I find my people. So I have to tread carefully with Facebook because I'm an online coach. So there it goes. Okay, ciao.